Right, after a bit of Blue Peter today, I'll show you what I've come up with. One sec. I've earned my Blue Peter badge today. Obviously nowhere near finished yet, but we've got a tower. We're on it. Ish. I'll jump in and show you. Right. Steering wheel, gear stick, handbrake, pull. Obviously nothing's attached, everything's very loose. I built the top out, so what I'll do, I'll triangulate that in, so I'll bring that in with a triangle there and at the side there. I'll build it around the back and the same around the front. Yeah, what we're thinking of that, obviously, a couple of thoughts at the minute. It's getting cosy in here, isn't it? I'll show you a couple of thoughts. 1 second, I'll just jump back out. Right, a couple of thoughts. Basically, every tower I've ever seen made is welded in to the tunnel, chassis, whatever. I'm contemplating just making my box, getting some swages for put some circles in and some nice circles into it, like so. Open it up a bit. I'm tempted to have it bolted in to the tunnel so it's removable. Obviously handbrake and shifter bolts to the top of it. I'm going to put some captive nuts on the back side of it, but I'm thinking have it weld in some fixings to the tunnel and put bolts for the side here, maybe 3 each side. I'm wondering if that'd be strong enough. I think it will be, because obviously the box, once it's bolted in, won't have any give. I don't know, everyone I've seen's welded in, do you know what I mean? And I'll be honest, I haven't done a sequential front wheel drive sequential shifter before. I've fitted the sequentials in rear wheel drives. Obviously they come up through the tunnel off of the box, but this is the first front wheel drive one I've ever done. So the tower, the box for the tower, I'll sleep on that one. But I can continue to make my box anyway, right up until the end, and then decide whether I want to have it bolted on or welded on. One pro to having it bolted on is I can paint it outside of the car, you know. I don't know. We shall see. I'll scratch my head over that one this evening. I've messaged, well, I won't say actually, but I've decided I'm going to change the seats. Don't know if people remember when I did get back into this car after a few years, I didn't fit these seats. These seats are brand new, motor drive, bloody good seats. But I do fit in them again now, because obviously I put on a load of weight in the wheelchair. But I do fit in these seats again now. Although I fit in them, they're not the comfiest seats in the world, you know. So I'm going to go for some new seats. So I'll have a chat with the gentleman who's going to help me out first, and then if he wants me to mention it, I'll mention his name and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go for some new seats, but forget the seats at the minute. We've got to think about this. So anyway, what do you think of the placement of my handbrake and my gear stick? So yeah, pretty chuffed with that. Like I said, I'll scratch my head tonight. I'll come back out tomorrow, and I think I'll continue making that box up at the tower. So I've got to triangulate the side, I've got to make the front and the back. Yeah, but most of my Blue Peter work's done, I think. Sound. See you in a bit. Back again. I'm not sure where I got up to on the videos from before this, so here we are at the minute. That's my tower, fabricated, but not welded in yet. I'll get it back out now and show you exactly what I've done. But one sec. It is spot on in the position I want it to be. Handbrake, shifter, forward, backwards. So coming down, push it forward, up, pull back. Yeah, I'll get it out and show you what I've been up to. There it is. So handbrake towers on there as well. I didn't want, obviously, the top diameter. I didn't want on the bottom, so flared out the top, pied triangular, cut it in. So there you go. Reason I haven't welded it in yet is because I've ordered some dimple die sets. I'm gonna hole cut there and there with a, it's like you drill a little hole and you put a hole cutter, you do a hole cutter up with a nut and bolt and it cuts the hole exactly the right size of dimple die, but I'll show you them when they arrive. So I think I'll run 1, 2, 3 on there, 1, 2 there, 3 on that side, obviously none there. Yeah, just adds a bit of strength, rigidity to it, I think. Also makes it a little bit prettier. But all these are captive nuts on there now. So bolted in and out. So now I'm waiting on my dimple die set really, and the hole cutters before I can carry on. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to run some filler on the edges, just to really smarten it up, tidy it up. Just going to put some filler on there, flatten it down, get it as tidy as possible for going into the car. I know it's a race car, you know what I mean, but got myself some filler. I'll run some P38 on the edges, just to tidy it up, flatten it down, some grey primer, and then I do my holes, and then I weld it in. Yeah man, stuff with that. Cheers. Afternoon, we've got a shitty rainy day today. So plodded on with this, but we had one of my hole punches turn up. We only had one turn up, so I'm waiting for the rest. This was the 10mm. So you drill a little hole in there, enough for, oh fuck me, where's that gone? Enough for that bolt to go through, cap head, and then do that up. So there you go. Your metal goes between there, look. Yeah, nice tidy hole. Only a practice piece, do you know what I mean? But, yeah, so I've got a full set of these coming. And then you run your dimple through there. So, like I said, not on the front. We'll have big dimples in the side, but yeah, as you can see, got a bit of primer on it. I flattened it back, so just filler, done my filler, bit of primer just to tidy it up. And if you look down there, that is some 2mm welded to, what's hard to do? This is 1.2mm. We had to do the sides in 1.2, so you can use the dimple die. You can't go through too. These don't go through much thicker than 1.2mm, as far as I know. So the sides of this were built in 1.2. The top, this is 2mm. Sides are 1.2mm. So basically, I can do my dimple die holes in the side. I'm not going to be putting them in the top. So the top's 2mm. Yeah. So I welded 2mm around the bottom. So basically, when I run a nice stitch weld in the car, it won't blow through the 1.2 because it's 2mm. So basically, it's 3.2mm there, just on the bottom edge. So I can run a nice weld in the car. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm happy with that. So just waiting for my other dimple to arrive now. So Other hole cutters and dimple dies to arrive. Go. Good bit of kit in it. Basically cut that out, look. Keep dropping it. So, yeah, I'll update you on that when my dimples arrive. Cheers. Just a quick one here. I'm not even sure where I'll insert this video, but it'll be in there somewhere. But I've had this arrive. I won't get it out. Bit more carbon. Now, anyone who knows, I had one of these before. They go, that goes. Let's have a look, see if I can show you. On my exhaust there, don't know what the lighting's like in here. Let's have a look. That goes on there, look. Bit of a heat shield. See if I can get a better picture of that. Is that any better? Yeah. Goes on there, look. Basically, carbon takes a lot more heat than obviously a standard bumper does. And I keep having issues. My exhaust doesn't move, solid, look. But it gets that hot. The top of this bumper in here, you can't see it, but it melts, man. And when I had it painted, when I had the car painted, I repaired that down there, and obviously I gave it some stick last time I was out, come back, and it started to go soft again, melted a bit, like. Well, so basically, that area there is what I want as a heat shield. Because this really doesn't melt. Obviously it takes a lot of heat. I've got this as a heat shield over my turbo, and if it don't melt on there, it ain't gonna melt on a tailpipe. But I was gonna paint this, because you can't get these in anything else, carbon, but I was gonna paint this and put it on the bumper, because from a distance, when that's on your back bumper like that, it makes it look like you got a big hole around your exhaust. Obviously I know it's carbon, you all know it's carbon. But randomer driving past, think I got a big hole in the bumper. I did say on my Facebook I was going to paint it, and everybody's telling me it's sacrilege and shouldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Don't paint it, just so yeah, I'll just put it on as it is. But I had one before when I first put all the carbon on the car, and under advisement I fitted the wolf spoiler and this with windscreen sealant. I was told to use, because it would be easier to get off in the future if ever necessary, but that didn't work, man. I went out and I come back and that had gone on the motorway, and the wolf spoiler was just hanging on. I managed to pull it off and save it, thankfully. So I was more happy that I lost this and not the wolf spoiler. I'll insert the name of this gentleman underneath before I get this off. Come from abroad, but it's really good, man. I like it, and he sells loads of stuff, and he does the wall spoilers now as well. So, yeah, what do you think? Paint or not to paint? That is the question, isn't it? I think I'll just put it on as is. Well, I'll insert this somewhere. I don't know where, but it'll be somewhere. See you in a bit. Morning. It's been a minute since I filmed anything. Bit of a story to tell you. I told you about my lathe, didn't I? My lathe packed up, so it packed up before I moved to Wales, to be fair, and had another motor to fitted the motor, still didn't work. So basically it's the switch box on it, this, that and the others kaput. So basically mate Skiddy told me to buy this 3-phase converter speed controller motor. I brought it don't fit, so basically Skiddy said drop it off to him. He'll use his lathe and his mill to make the parts to make it fit. So on the weekend, my son, his friend and a pal of mine picked up the lathe, put it in the back of there, and it's not overly heavy for a car, do you know what I mean, the lathe, do you know what I mean, but the suspension dropped. It was on its tyres. It's close to be on its tyres now. I did move it to there, I've got the auto on it, and I managed to get it to lift. So the pump's working to a degree. It lifts the bags, but it won't deflate the bags. And then as soon as you move it under its own power, it deflates the bags. It's weird, man. Something weird going on with the pump. Looked at the sensors are following, sensors are reading. So I've ordered a new pump and a new valve. So it switches left and right to the bags. Changed the valve about 18 months ago, but they're only like 20 odd quid. The pump I ordered was like 125 quid, but it doesn't come with the base and stuff. So you strip this pump off the base and you put your new pump on. So yeah, I managed to get the suspension to lift. I've just moved it from there to there because I've got a tree surgeon coming, obviously. But as soon as I moved it, even though the suspension was lifted, as soon as I moved it, it's dropped. There's no leaky bags, man, because it's been there for a few days, and it even if there was a leaky bag, the pump would kick back in. The pump would be overworking or trying to compensate. So the bags are fine. The pump's had it, I believe, so I'll change the pump and see how we get on. But whilst I was at Skiddy's, I'll show you what he made for me, one sec. Oh, I've got to change that fucking security light as well. It's not flashing like it looks like it's flashing on the camera, but it comes on in the daytime, over night time, like a rabbit or trigger or something, and it stays on all day. I've been up there, pissed with the settings, and it won't go off. So taking that back to the shop where I got it from. But anyway, my mate Skiddy, bless him, he, I told you, had, basically that's a tube, it's not a rod, that's a tube from a gear shifter. So, Skiddy, I got some 12mm stainless rod, not tube, it's rod. And he put it on his lathe, obviously because mine don't work, and he put M6 in one end and M8 in the other. And I brought some carbon rod, and look at that carbon tube, sorry, and it goes over that rod nicely, look. So if you look how straight that is, nice and straight and solid. You're not bending that by changing the gear. But if you look at that, see how bent that is. I'm trying to do it. That really bent. So yeah, got a nice straight one to go in now. But eBay, man, eBay's done me nuts in. All sorts of skiddies. I raided his nut and bolt drawer as well. So got an M12, M8, an M6 for medals, whatever they are. Can't remember what to call them. Anyway, obviously to make holes like this. That one is that size. Don't want to make smaller than that. What I wanted to do was run that one and that one, I think, or maybe that one and that one. And just my luck, the hole cutters for that one and that one still not here, man. It's been 1 week and 3 days now off eBay. I've messaged the seller, and all they can say to me is wait a few more days, you know. So if they do turn up, I'll be putting negative feedback on them, because absolutely ridiculous. Like this one turned up. I ordered on Sunday. That was here Tuesday morning. These were here, this one and that one, they were here Thursday morning. So this geezer sold me this one, brilliant. This one and this one, a little bit lazy. This one, absolute jokers, man. So I'm waiting for those, because yeah, I want that size hole basically. It's a nice size hole in it. That size hole and that size hole. So use those two, and those are the ones I'm waiting for. So yeah, buzzing with that. But I also went to, there's a cylinder head missing in here for P2K. I didn't film anything, man, you know, because sometimes cameras can get in people's faces, so I don't even like to ask sometimes. But I went to NJA Automotive yesterday, and Martin was there and his lads, and dropped the cylinder head off for this along with Piper cams and Piper springs. So that will be coming back with solid lifter conversion, nice and shimmed, ported, polished, ready to go on an engine. I need to message my mate Neil, who's doing machining my blocks, because as you can see my engine still ain't back yet. So I'll send him a message and see when I can collect them. So I'd like to get the engine built up. Right, see you in a bit. And we're back. I'll insert some pictures I didn't video when I was doing my, what's the word again? When I was doing these, my dies anyway, these dies for doing dimples. Dimple dies, that's it, dimple dies. I didn't take any video, but it's in. Put a light on here. Let's have a look. Yeah. So it's welded in, seam sealed over the top. We've got 5 holes in the back, 3 on that side. I'll go on the other side, one sec. On the other side we've got one there, so there. I gave up waiting for the bigger dimple dies, so just went with those sizes. Was doing made in weighting. So that's welded in, but I think that tunnel's flexing. I'll show you. That's it. Right, back here. Take this up. That's it. So we've got our handbrake, our shifter. So downshift, upshift. It's hard to video, but I think I've got some movement in this. Now it can't be the box because that's welded solid. It's welded to the floor as well. Welded solid to the floor. So I think this tunnel might flex a bit. I remember rightly, the old F2s did have a 5mm plate, even thicker 10mm plate that went up the tunnel and bolted in on the sides here on the old F2 Maxes with the sequential shifters. So I might have to brace this tunnel up from underneath. Yeah, we'll see how we get on, but obviously need a second pair of eyes because I can only see it when I'm pushing and pulling this. As far as I can tell, it's not, my box is solid and it's welded to the floor solid, but I can see some movement somewhere. Do you know what I mean? If I grab that, look, that's not moving now. You know what I mean? You think that I can't get any movement, but I don't know if it's in my head. Do you know what I mean? When I move that, it might be in my head. Might be in my head. Might be over paranoid. But there we have it. It's my steering wheel. I want to get a thinner. I want to find a thinner quick release if I can, but a good one, because these are good. Because that steering wheel, I had my mate in it the other day and he was like, it's a bit close, isn't it, Kevin? I don't know. I don't think it's close. I might put an adjustable column on here. See if it'll go. Well, it won't go in a bit. Adjustable column. I don't think the adjustable column on these just goes in and out. It doesn't go up and down. I'll put. Well, that's my eyes. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'm talking out loud, thinking out loud. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I might have to strengthen the tunnel, but as far as the stick location goes, back in the seat, pull forward and back, because I'm happy with that. My seat, I think I have to go forward a little bit. That's why this steering wheel, I think, needs addressing. Unless, because this steering wheel is a dished one. Unless I get a not dished one, you know, one that's not dished. It'll be further away. My seat's got to go forward. I think that's all it'll have to be. Get a new steering wheel that's not dished, which is a shame because it's a fucking expensive steering wheel. This was, man, really expensive. Yeah, what do you think of that? You know what I mean? Race car shit, man. Handbrake. Decided what I'll do with that AP line lock. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna incorporate that AP line lock into here somewhere, and use it as the handbrake lock, because I never trust basically these pins to hold the handbrake. You pull that back and the pin locks, I don't trust them because they come off. So what I'm gonna do, run the line lock for the handbrake. So you pull that back, as that's back like that, turn the line lock, let go of that, and the handbrake stays on. That's what I'm gonna do with that AP line lock. So I'm gonna run that to lock my handbrake on. So you pull that and line lock it. What's next? Well, what's next is all this got to come back out, because my engine's got to go in. So just put all this in, but it's in so I know it works on the location. It's all got to come back out. Yeah, picking my engine and Jamie's engine up on Thursday, I think, this week. Thursday afternoon. It's Tuesday today, so when that's back, the build can commence. Do you know what I mean? Be wicked, man. So yeah, what do you think of that? Some race car shit, innit? Yeah, man. Sound. Back again. This is the next day. Did a bit of head scratching last night, a bit of research, and I was right. There is a tunnel strengthener that goes like a U shape in that tunnel on the original GSE F2s, but their sticks bolt to the floor, you see. My stick goes on the top. My stick is shorter on a different pivot. Basically, their sticks pivot off the floor with the rod bolted halfway through. Yeah, I like my stick better, to be honest, on the tower. I've had another look today, and there's no movement on that box at all. Do you know what I mean? I do think it's a tunnel. It's very slightly. We're talking millimeters, but I don't want it. I don't want millimeters. Even a millimeter of give. So I'm going to make up a bracket to go under the tunnel. I'll get it in the air and show you. I'll insert a picture now of the basically GSE F2 Ford Motorsport reinforcement under the tunnel that they used to use, as well as their stick location. Basically all they used to do is weld over the old hole and bolt on the stick there. So I'll insert a couple of pictures and then I'll be underneath. Right, underneath, I need to drop this exhaust back off, which is easy because it's V-banded. I'll drop that off, but basically, when we're looking, that's the old, what I welded. I just welded over it. I didn't weld this hole up. I can weld this hole up from underneath. That's easy enough, but I don't think that'd be necessary. That picture I've just inserted goes up there and across and down here. So there's it bolted in. I think I'll just weld mine in. You look. Yeah. A little bit of give there, I think. Yeah. Might run another weld across the front section of my box that I've inserted, which goes around here. I didn't weld that, I welded the back and the two sides. I didn't weld the front, but I might clean it off and weld the front and weld the bracket in. Easy enough. So I get some 5mm steel plates and make it up. I'll order some now. When I say order some now, I'm still waiting, would you believe, one sec. Still waiting on 2 of these hole cutters. It's been 1 week and 4 days now. I messaged the eBay seller and lost in the post. So, God knows. So I'll order some steel, see how long that takes. But I ordered 2 fuel line fittings yesterday afternoon. Look at them, here today. Do you know what I mean? So some eBay sellers, man, are just piss takers. Do you know what I mean? Others, this is off Torques on eBay. Bloke, he's in Wales, but to be fair, but it doesn't matter where you are. Torques, any jig fittings, AM fittings, have a look at them on eBay. Absolutely brilliant, you know. Next, I ordered them tea time yesterday, and they were here the first thing this morning. So this crap with these people makes no sense. Like, these were slightly slow rolling. This one was next day pretty much. This was a few days, but the other 2, man, a week and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. A week and 4 days now I've been waiting. Some eBay sellers take the absolute piss. Anyway, I'll order some steel. Cheers. Alright, so I've bent this up and around my tunnel. The driver's side has a different angle to the passenger side, but that's the shape of that steel I need to make. Ones in the picture I saw had the same size, looked at the same angles on, so it'd be no good if I got one of them anyway. I think they're pretty generic, so yeah. So that measures about 370 mil. So I'll order some steel and I'll get it bent up like that. This is just a piece of stainless TIG wire I used. I'll order my steel. Cheers. Afternoon. I'm not sure if I told you about my 535 already in this video, but I had a rear air ride issue. We loaded the lathe in the back and it went down, never came back up. One sec. So, put a diagnostic on there, managed to get air back into the bags, but it wouldn't deflate. So I couldn't control it and it was sending up error messages, this, that and the other. Spoke to a couple of people who are well into their BMWs, you know. They're advised pump and the split valve, basically valve that comes off the pump and puts air left and right. So I changed the pump and I changed the valve and plugged it in. Didn't want to listen straight away. After about 5 minutes pissing about diagnostics, it kicked in and it self-leveled and it was all good. And then I've come out to it today and it's on her arse again. I think we've got like a mating ritual going on here. Fuck knows what they are. But yeah, that's sat on the arch again, that is. So I'm guessing, after speaking to a lad I know again who's mad into his BMW, it was Nick. He says that must be an air leak, but it didn't show as an air leak before because both sides were staying up, do you know what I mean? But that driver's side's dropped. If you look at the passenger side, that hasn't dropped. Excuse the curb marks, I nearly had a head on with a lorry the other month. Had to mount the path. It was a left-hand drive lorry, wrong side of the road, give me no space, so it was either head on or up the path, so I chose to go up the path. Well, that's kind of why I was sorting this out, because I was going to drop this off to my pal Hugh this week to redo my wheels, change a couple of tyres. But yeah, if last time it failed, it would have been as obvious as just one side. To be fair, I would have done bags first, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't, man. It wasn't one side before. It was just failing to lift either side, like. So I'll change. I've ordered a couple of bags now, so we'll get the bags and we'll see where we go from there. That's annoying, isn't it? But let's get in the workshop, show you what's turned up. There you go. There's the pump I took off my 535. clearly absolutely nothing wrong with it. And my switch valve I took off. Yeah, that didn't want to come off anyway, so you wouldn't want to reuse that. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's the mounting bolts didn't want to come off. I had to pretty much mount one there to get it off, look. But yeah, it's got a new switch valve, new pumping. So we'll try new bags next. But yeah, what else has turned up? Oh yeah, my 6mm for my reinforcement bracket I told you about. There's my guide of what shape it's got to be. So basically bend that like that and then like that. Probably cut that into 200mm strips. Obviously I won't be putting that's 200 by I think about 400. No, 200 by 500 days. 200 by 500, so I'll cut that into 100 by whatever this turns out to be, and we'll get them welded in. That leads me on to my next subject. I don't think I've told you already in the video. I'll show you. Ta-da! Right, we have, I believe this is the 2 litre and this is the 2.3. I've got them on the wrong stands, so 2.3 is going on this one, 2 litres going on this one, but they've been decked and look at that. Ooh, nice and shiny. Decked, bored and honed. Look how nice honing job that is. Look. You can't get the fingernail in there. Do you remember when I got the got this car and stripped it? How smooth that is. Look. When I stripped it, it looked like they'd done the honing job with a piece of sandpaper on this engine. But yeah, this is the engine that come in P2K, and I did tell you I'd save it and I'll make it look brand new. And we are, look at that. Look at that. So that'll be brand new. So I've got myself obviously 2.3 to go into there, replace that engine. So I've got myself 2 engines to build there. Progress wise, so that's back from machining with the boring, honing, decking, cleaning, blocks mint, the cylinder head, using the cylinder head that came on that engine as well. I've dropped it off to MJA Engineering. Good lads, man. Martin, he's a good lad. Family run business. I take all my stuff there now. I used to use, and I still would if he was less busy, ALD Developments for cylinder heads, because Andy, brilliant lad, he's a good lad, but he's very busy. Do you know what I mean? He's very busy. So MJ is doing the head for me. Piper cams have turned up, Piper springs. So yeah, I'll talk to you more about this engine as I go and what we're going to do in regards to development and such, and the package that it will be for P2K. I'll talk to you more about that as we go. But yeah, that's what I'll be plugging on with now. A couple of engines. Right, 1 second. Yeah, as you'll have noticed, I didn't put up a video last week. I've been doing other stuff, waiting for these to turn up, been cracking along with my car. I am going to persevere with this car. I'll be honest with you, I've got a bit of a... My head's taking a wobble at the minute. Some of you who followed me for the last couple of years, I started doing the vlogging videos 2 years ago because people was asking me what I'm up to with my motors. Obviously I've got plenty of motors of my own. Piss about my mates' cars and stuff, so I started doing vlogs. I think it was my mate's Mark 1 Cozzy. Mark 1 Escort with a Cozzy engine I started off first. And in all the videos you'll see that I refer to dickhead number 1 and dickhead number 2. It used to be just dickhead, and then dickhead number 2 came along, and dickhead number 1 is Axel. And he's a good lad, man. He's been with me 10 years now. He's 10 years old. I rescued him as a pup. And I used to take him to work with me every day when I had garages, and then I had my car crash, and he was there through my recovery. He was glued to my side. He never leaves my side, that dog. He loves the workshop. He comes in, he lies down. He loves, absolutely, he's a garage dog, do you know what I mean? And he came with the name Axel. And it's spelt like an axle stand, a car axle, whatnot. Like he was meant for me. Axel was. But dickhead number one, Axel, he's not very well. He started being off his food, and then yesterday he was poorly. So I don't mess about, you know what I mean? He started being sick yesterday, took him straight to the vets this morning. We've done all the tests, done blood tests. We did scans, scanned his stomach, scanned his body and that, and the blood tests say that he's anemic and he's got no white blood cells at the minute, and that is because we found a lump, well, a tumour attached to his spleen. And that's what happens with Rottweilers, man. They're soldiers, you know. They can't tell you they're poorly, and they're soldier on, the soldier on, the soldier on, and then last minute, bang, you know. Cancer. I've had Rottweilers my whole life, and I've never lost a Rottweiler to anything other than cancer. I've never had one make it to 10 years old, but that boy, he's been my rock. You know, that dog, he's a good lad, man. So, but in regards to that, there's nothing we can do. It happens fast, so we're gonna look after him as long as he's comfortable. But it happens fast, you know. It's Saturday today, start of the week, I think. I don't think he'll. Yeah, so that's it, man. So I don't know when I'll be doing the next videos. I don't know what I'll be doing next, you know, because people say, does it get easier? No, man, I've had Rottweilers on me life, and no, it don't, you know. But you know what? The pain that you go through at the end is nothing compared to the love that they give you for the whole lives, man. Rottweiler is a man's best friend. Dog is a man's best friend, you know. But that boy Axel, dickhead number one. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll let you know what's happened in my next video. When it'll be, I can't tell you. But my head's having a bit of a wobble, so just be patient and bear with me, alright? So I appreciate everybody following my stuff, man. And yeah, nice one. Thanks.